Everyone, thank you for your patience. Welcome to our July 20th, 2023 Special Magistrate hearing for the Building Division. If there's anyone who wishes to speak at today's proceedings, please stand and raise your right hand. You must be sworn in to speak. Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings? Thank you. You all may be seated. Our first case is on page 3, Senior Inspector Alexander Abores, property address 845 Northwest 10th Terrace, case number BE 23040096, owner Hef Federal Apartments LLC. Notice posted at the property on 6/30/23, posted at City Hall 7/6/23. Oh, okay.
Can you all make sure that your phones are off so we don't get distracted by this? I always forget, but I remembered finally, so thank you. There he is, okay.
There we go. Alexander Abores, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case number and address as read. The property was cited for violation of Florida Building Code, Section 116.1.1, unsafe structures. Buildings or structures that, in the opinion of the building official, are become unsafe or which have been substantially damaged or otherwise shall be deemed unsafe building, and a permit shall be obtained to demolish the structure or bring the building to comply with the applicable codes. Florida Building Code, Section 116.2.1.2.1, there is deterioration of the structure or structural parts. This building has partial collapsed drywall ceiling in Unit 11 bedroom and the laminating ceiling in Unit 10 kitchen living room area due to leaking roof. Property was also cited for violation of City Ordinance 9-280B. There are building parts which are deteriorated and are not maintained. Again, collapsed drywall ceiling in Unit 11 bedroom and the laminating ceiling in Unit 10 kitchen living room area due to leaking roof in this repair. The case was opened on April 17, 2023. Inspection report mailed to the property owner on April 18, 2023. City is requesting for the magistrate to find the violation exists and grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter. The city is also requesting for the final order to be recorded. The respondent is here to speak.
You said 62 days or how much?
63 days, so $50 fine.
63 days?
63 days, yes, sir.
Or just the one violation?
Yes.
Okay. And are there costs for these? All these cases have costs with them, right?
Yes, $50 per day.
Okay. No, I mean, in addition to the fines, there's costs, right? Aren't there costs for all these cases? Aren't there costs, administrative costs? No?
Not at this time.
Okay, okay. Yes, ma'am. Come up, tell us who you are. We didn't hear you. Is it on? A little late you come on. And maybe a little closer.
Okay. How's that?
That's better.
Hi, I'm Sharon Furtado with the Housing Authority, City of Fort Lauderdale. We're the parent company.
Okay. So what are your plans to address, are the people living in there? It looks like there are.
Not in those 2 units. We relocated those tenants.
Where that roof came in, that's, okay. All right, so they're proposing to give you a little over 2 months to address this,
Yes.
or a fine would start
Correct.
of $50 a day. You're okay with that?
Yes, I am, sir.
Okay, all right, that's what we'll do.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
ordered.
Our next case is on page 14, Senior Inspector Jose Saragusti. This is a hearing to impose fines. Property address 1130 Southwest 30th Ave. Owner, Alien Alexis. Case number BE 22080208. This case was first heard on 3/16/23 to comply by 4/20/23. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $4,500, which continues to accrue.
Good morning, Building Inspector Saragusti from the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting the case number as read. The permit number PM 19050099 is complied already. It was issued yesterday. For that one, the case is complied. I will let the respondent to speak.
Good morning. My name is Lowell Gannon. I am representing the owner of the property as well as United States Solutions. The clients behind me engaged an air conditioning company called Coolstar. Coolstar never processed the permitting on the property. We stepped in to kind of be heroes to save the day. And as of yesterday, I went to the city and obtained the permit for the proper mechanical AC. We are looking for a little favor and hopefully to wipe away the fines for these people because they really had nothing to do with it, but Coolstar was very negligent in handling the situation.
Okay, what's the city's response
The
about that?
city, I will agree, I will request to avoid the fines.
I'm sorry?
Yeah,
The city wants the fines?
yeah, avoid the fines.
Okay, so the worst case is they could seek a reduction later?
Sorry?
They can seek a lien reduction later?
Are you seeking a lien reduction or you
No, they can
It's
later.
not a lien, there are the fines, 4,500, and I want to waive the fines.
To abate all the fine?
Yeah. Abate the fine, yeah.
So- I know, but can I do that today, or do I have to do it at a lien reduction?
Well, if the city has no objection, I think you can.
But he's saying they do object.
No, he said, do you object?
No,
No,
No.
the city does not object.
Okay. All right, so the total fines due are what? $4,500?
yes,
Okay. And this is just for an AC changeout, right?
Correct?
Okay, but it was for 3 months it's been pending.
The original contractor left them high and dry. And we stepped in to help them out. And I paid the balance due on this permit yesterday, which I have in my hand. So we are now ready to close the situation out.
Okay. So if I substantially reduce it,
yes, they,
so I could substantially reduce it under the circumstances, if I wish. Okay. I'm going to reduce it to $500 under the circumstances, from $4,500, okay?
Mauna,
You got to tell me your name and...
This is the owner.
she said, by your order, the company should pay the money.
Sir,
Because-
state your name for the record, please.
Okay, she said, by your order,
State your name.
my name is Felidia Joseph. I am the neighbor of Mrs. Eliane Alexis. And she's so scared.
She what?
She is scared to death.
All right, there's nothing to be afraid of.
She said she don't want, she hope the company should be paid the money, not her. Because she hired the company to do the job for her. If anything wrong, the company should be responsible.
Okay, again, the city can't control who she hired, whether they're good or bad. She got this gentleman to come and save her, but there's still 90 days that this was out of compliance, 3 months. I'm reducing it from 4,500 to 500, which is a substantial reduction. If she needs time to pay it, she can do that. How much time can I give him?
pay it,
She
30
have to
days.
pay the 500 or you are gonna pay the 500?
Have 30 days to pay.
Huh? No, they're not gonna pick it up. But you, the company should be able to pay the money because she not,
Wait to hear-
if anything wrong,
response.
you are cost that, not her.
You're on. I'm sorry. Smack you. I'm waiting to see if they're responding. They're all bad. I just,
When does she have to pay the fee?
30 days.
30 days from now. Okay, let's agree to that.
Okay, that's
Okay.
fine. That'll be the order.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
500. Yes, thank you. Our next case is on page 16, Chief George Oliva, property address 345 West State Road 84, owner Lake Worth Property Enterprises LLC, case number BE 211-00284. This case was first heard on 3/17/22. To comply by 4/28/22, one section not complied at $100. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $44,700, which continues to accrue.
Good morning, George Oliva, Chief Building Inspector for the city. Case and address as request. This case is being open for quite a while, from 2021, and they haven't complied or submitted any report with no repairs. So the city at this moment is requesting the full amount to be imposed due to the fact that there's no compliance with the safety inspection report.
Okay, so a report was never even submitted?
No, sir.
Okay.
They've been, since we came the first time to the Magistrate, which was in 2021, and we sent notification and they haven't submitted a new report with no repairs.
They did submit a report, but not a new one?
Right, they need a new report. They never submit the new report. They submit one with repairs required, but that is already gone. Over 180 days, the most that we can provide for that,
Okay.
okay?
Yes, your name and address, please?
Good morning. My name is Laura Russo. I'm a territory representative for the parent company, APEC. I started with the company in January. The rep prior to me was supposed to be handling this case, and he's fired, for obvious reasons. And I came into the territory, and this ended up in my lap. I got a lot of surprises from the prior rep. So I'm here to work this out. I've got proposal invoice to get the work done. I need some time, obviously, to get the work done. And I'm looking to try to waive some of these fees.
Well, I'm not going to reduce or waive the fees at this point unless and until you finally comply. So it's going to continue to accrue at $100 a day. It's already been 447 days. A number of people have these cases for 40-year inspection. And most people will know that this is because of the people in Surfside who died because the building was not safe. So people are required under the law and the county law to get these inspected timely. They have 6 months within which to do it. If they don't, he has no objection, has no ability to extend that. So that's the law. And I certainly can't give you a break on the fine, which is almost $45,000, until you've submitted the report, done the repairs, and they can come back. Can't they come for a lien reduction?
Lien reduction.
Okay, so people will hear me talk about a lien reduction process.
Okay.
If the fines are high, you can't come and seek a lien reduction until you're in full compliance. But there is a process to do that. You go through paperwork to do it, and you come back for a hearing before me or the other magistrate to show why it should not be fully imposed. So
Okay.
depending on the facts that you lay out in the application, and this may apply to other people, we will look at it then, but I can't do anything at this point. So I'm going to
Okay.
impose the fine.
Okay, I understand.
Okay. It's reluctant because it's a huge fine, but it's
I
also,
understand that.
but it's also incumbent on your people to get this building inspected so we know it's safe. This is for structural and electrical integrity. That's what it's for under the code. We have to know that the people that are in there or visiting or both are safe. That's what it's all about.
Right.
Okay? All right, so I'm going to impose the fine? Okay. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Our next case is on page 14. Senior Inspector Jose Sadagusti, property address 1300 Northwest 15th Court. Owner Barbarita Interior Designs, Inc., case number BE 2204-0011. This case was first heard on 8/18/22 to comply by 9/15/22. Fine suspended as noted. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $10,450, which continues to accrue.
Who's coming up for the city? Oh, here he is.
Jose Saragusti, building inspector for the city, presenting the case as read. The case was complied this morning. I will request the administrative fees for this violation of $1,096. I will let the respondent to speak.
How much are you recommending?
$1,096.
Instead of the 10,450?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are those the costs, or what is that? Admin fees, okay.
Admin fees.
Okay. Yes, your name and address, please?
The Barbarita Interior Design.
Okay.
And I'm so glad to let you know that we complying with.
Yeah, that's wonderful news.
Yes, I'm so happy.
So is the city, because we know you're safe.
And the city too.
Now we know you're safe, especially with those, the windows and the doors. Okay, so they're proposing to reduce this from the 10,450, because it was 209 days out of compliance, to $1,096, which would be due within 30 days.
Yes,
You accept that, right?
yes,
Okay, that's the order. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 1. Senior Inspector Jose Sadagusti. This is a new business case. Property address 1801 Northeast 20th Ave. Owner Vincent J. Scotto. Case number BE 200602121. Notice posted at the property on 6/28/23. Posted at City Hall 7/6/23.
This is 20th Avenue, you said? Yes. Okay.
Jose Saragusti, building inspector for the city, presenting the case number as read. The work permits expired PM 06021861 and PM 06052290 were left to expire as stated in today's agenda. I will let the owner to speak.
Okay. Yes, sir. Name and address?
Scotto, I'm the owner.
Okay.
In 2006, I worked with a designer and a contractor. They got into an argument with each other, and I guess the contractor walked off. At the end of the project, I did not know the project wasn't finished. The permit wasn't closed out. The job was finished back then. The next time I heard anything about this was in 2020, in June, right at the end of COVID. And I did everything I thought I was supposed to do online. Apparently, I did it wrong. So in that time, the next time I heard was when I received this letter. I've applied for the permit, I've paid for the permit, I have the plans, I have everything. I'm just waiting for the final approval on the renewal of the permit in order to be able to get a final inspection.
Okay.
Okay. The city is asking the owner to come in compliance within the next 63 days or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
Okay. So this is,
I think if, as long as the city, yeah, I should be able to.
that's more than 2 months.
Yeah.
Okay, but there's a fine if you don't do it timely. You get that, right?
Yep.
Okay, that'll be the order. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 22. Senior Inspector Alexander Boris. Property address 1400 Northeast 53rd Court. Owner Modern Apartments LLC. Case number BE 2303-0211. This case was ordered to reappear. This case was first heard on 6/15/23 to comply by 7/20/23. One section not complied at $100.
Alexander Alvarez, Building inspector for the city updating you on case number and address is read. Property was cited for violation of Florida Building Code, Section 116.1 unsafe structures, and city ordinance, violation of city ordinance 9-280C. The owner has applied for and obtained a building permit, record number BLD-CALT-2304-0031, and it's here to provide an update.
Hi, good morning. My name is Will Steiger. I'm the property manager. We are requesting a 63-day extension to fix our north stairs. We have a welder on site today. He's bringing materials with him. We already have some materials there. He should be starting to install the ground floor to the second floor by tomorrow. And then we're going to work on the second floor to the third floor. It's a 3-story building.
Okay, the notes in the agenda say that this appears to be a severe, I'm emphasizing
Yes,
that
so
word.
we demolished the whole north stairs and we're redoing them from scratch.
Okay. And what about the concrete spalling on the balconies?
Yes, we're fixing that as well.
Okay. Are people aware that they cannot use the balconies?
Oh, yeah, everything's taped off on the north side, so they know.
So all the owners know not to ever go out there or let anybody
Exactly,
out
exactly.
there. How does the city feel about giving that period of time?
Yes, city supports the 63-day extension.
And fine of what, $50?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, what's?
I'm sorry? Oh, it's already ordered?
Yeah.
Oh, it's $100, right? All right, so the fine is going to run.
I'm sorry?
The fine is going to run because it was supposed to be done today. So you'll have to come in when it's in compliance.
Well, if you give him an extension, it won't run.
Is that what the city wants to do? Oh, he wants an extension.
Right.
All right, so you want 63-day extension?
Yes, please.
The city wishes to do that, right?
Yeah, city
Okay.
supports the
All right,
extension.
they are going to give you the extension you are seeking. There will be no fines for 63 days.
63 days?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, I appreciate
Hold
it.
on, I need to find.
Yes, city will also like to request a reappearance in 63 days to provide a new update.
An update, okay. Sure.
Okay, so you would be coming back then
In 63 days.
on September 21st, right?
Okay, and how will we receive that information about the next hearing? Will that be via email or via email?
Yeah, same way.
Okay, okay, all right, thank you so much, I
Okay.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.
Our next case is a hearing to impose fines on page 20. Chief George Oliva, property address 2801 South Andrews Ave, case number BE 211-00180, owner Arthur R. Messia, estate and all others, in care of Law Office Aslanian. Sorry. This case was first heard on 3/17/22 to comply by 4/28/22. One section not complied at $100. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $44,700, which continues to accrue.
George Oliva, on behalf of the city, case and address as read. This case is from October 2021, when we sent the first notification to the property owners. Before that, or prior to that, they did comply the 40 years inspection back on June 25, 2012. But after we sent the notification for the 10-year recertification, they haven't done anything, we haven't received nothing. There's no report on files or record for anything. So at this moment, due to the lack of compliance from the owners, I'm requesting to impose the full amount of the fines.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Good morning. My name is Bill Salem, 800 Corporate Drive. I represent Mr. Messia. Good to see you.
Good, likewise.
Special Magistrate Ansbro. I do have a power of attorney. This is Arthur Messia. He's 28 years old. I learned about this case on Monday. He assumed that the structural and electrical inspectors had submitted the reports to the city. Erroneous assumption. He just inherited the property in 2020. He's trying to learn. I'm trying to help him out. He's a friend of mine. And respectfully, the fine is a little bit too strong for his pocketbook. And if I might approach and give the power of attorney and card for the record, because apparently notices were going to a former lawyer of the state. Speak to the mic, sir.
You need to talk to the mic.
Some of the notices were originally going to Mr. Georges Lanian, who represented the estate of his father. And so there was a delay in him receiving stuff. He did undertake the inspections in 22, I believe, or late 21. He did try to complete the forms and submit them yesterday, but the reports themselves are now expired because they're past 90 days old. And we will promptly get the reports, re-inspect the facilities, get them reissued, and submit within 30 days.
Your Honor, I'm not in agreement with the statement the gentleman made. The city was still requesting the full amount to be imposed. He became the owner of the property in 2020. We opened the case and sent the notice to 2021. It's a property owner's responsibility to update Broward County property appraiser for the new address of the building.
Right.
The city is not responsible for that. So that part is out of the picture, and the city will still request a full amount.
Okay, so we're going to impose the fine, Mr. Salem, but as I just mentioned to your predecessor, the fine will continue to accrue until he's in compliance. At that point, whether or not it's meritorious to abate it or reduction can be done by a lien reduction process. And those are treated fairly based on the circumstances. So whatever those circumstances are, could be more detail to me or the other magistrate when he's in compliance. What kind of building is this? Office building?
It's a motor vehicle repair shop.
Okay. What's your name?
Arthur Macia.
Okay. So I'm going to allow the fine to continue. I'm reluctant to do that, but when the city says this, he's under the gun from Broward County Board of Rules and Appeals to enforce this strictly, as I am and in turn. So the fine will continue. It's $100 a day. It behooves him to get this report done, and then whatever repairs are mentioned in it, get those done, come back to them, and then if you can work out something that makes the city happy, I'm willing to ratify that or the other.
Understood. And
Okay.
thank you very much.
All right, folks. Good to see you, Bill.
Thank you.
Yes, imposed. Chief, you have the next two cases. Our next case is also on page 20. Property address 3200 North Port Royal Drive. Owner, the Tower at Port Royal Condo Association, case number BE 211-00034. This case was first heard on 2/17/22 to comply by 8/16/22. One section complied at $100. Total fine, $6,600. City is requesting to reduce fines to administrative costs of $1,275.
George Olive, on behalf of the city, case and address as read. This case came into compliance, and the city is requesting for the fine to be reduced to the administration cost of $1,270.
Okay.
I mean, 75, I'm sorry.
All right. Don't forget that $5. What's your name, please?
My name's John Nolan. I'm the property manager and a board member.
Okay. So you've heard from the building official that they're willing to accept it for their costs of
Yes.
$1,275 if paid within 30 days, okay? If not, it reverts back to the original amount. So it's incumbent on you to get it paid timely, all
We'll
right?
get an invoice.
How will they get
They're gonna receive it in the mail,
an order, right?
the order, and they just gotta print the invoice or mail the check to the city. And
The order will tell you what to do.
Okay.
Okay.
You
all
can
right.
get in contact with Tasha or myself or Diana, and they will provide the direction how to do it.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Is that bad? No, I was just going to say they get the order. Okay. Okay, yeah, the order will direct you how to do it, but
Yes.
do it timely. That's the important thing.
Okay, and it's for the administrative costs.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Rather
Thank you
than
very much.
fines. Okay, sir.
Thank you. Our next case is on page 21. Chief George Oliva, property address 5300 Northwest 9th Ave. Owner Desert Powerline LLC, case number BE 210702448. This case was first heard on 3/17/22 to comply by 4/28/22. One section not complied at $100. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $44,700, which continues to accrue.
George Oliva, on behalf of the city, case and address as read. The city is requesting the full amount for no compliance. They have multi-foils on this location. This is open for business. They even had the stream arcade over there in that building, and they haven't submitted the report. So at this moment, the city would request the imposition of the fines until they come into compliance by submitting the report, and then we will deal from there.
Did they ever submit a report?
Not lately, no.
No?
No. They submit about this case from July 2021.
Okay.
So that's how far we
That's a
go
year.
back.
That's a year, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Give your name and address and capacity with the property?
Fred, there you go.
No. Andrea Norman, I'm the property manager. I've been dealing with this property on some other issues. This was just put on my lap on Monday. I reached out to the engineer of record, and the report was actually completed in October 28th, 2022. Unfortunately, no one ever submitted it. I reached out to Victoria yesterday, and the chief was CC'd on the emails. The report that I sent over shows that there are no repairs required. However, they can't accept it because it's over 90 days old. So I did reach out to the inspector, to the engineer, and ask if they could update, and they said yes. So I'm just waiting on them to give me an updated report.
Okay, once you get that report, please bring it to us as soon as possible so we can stop the fines for you, and then we will see what we do from there.
Of course, of course. And I understand, and I apologize for this. Thank you.
No, that's quite all
In
right.
in the meantime, the fines are gonna run. You understand that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So ordered, fine imposed.
Our next case is on page, thank you, Chief, you're done. Our next case is on page 8. Inspector Jeff Franklin, property address, one second, I'm calling the page and I'm not there. Property address 1404 Northeast 17th Street, 1-2. Owner Jordana Lore Diaz, Joseph Marshall Thompson, case number BE 22070140. Notice posted at the property on 6/19/23, posted at City Hall 7/6/23. This is a new business case. Done.
Good morning, Inspector Jeff Franklin, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. The permit was left to expire as stated in today's agenda. The property was cited under FBC 2020, Section 105.3.2.1. We're asking the owner to come into compliance within the next 42 days or a fine of $50 per day thereafter. I'll let the respondent speak.
Did you say 43 days?
42 days.
42 days, okay. Or a fine of what, 50?
$50 a day thereafter.
All right. Just tell us your name and address.
Excuse me. My first name is Joseph Thompson, 1408 Northeast 17th Street, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 33305.
Okay, so they're offering to give you 42 days to get this done. If not, a fine is going to begin of $50 a day. And the city does not want the fines. This is for you and everybody else. The city's not here to get the fines. The fines are imposed to get people's attention to do it on time. They want the compliance. That's what this is about. That's why it's called code compliance.
Yes, sir.
All right? So 42 days or $50, all right?
I just don't know what to do, to be honest with you, sir.
What do you mean?
I purchased my home back in 2017 through the VA, and I went through Rye Green, a company, to get AC installed. Y Green contracted through a company called Florida Air Services, and from there, that's when all the trouble started. I got notices from the city saying that the permit was left to void, and I've gone to the city to try to close the permit myself. They told me that I need an engineer. The original engineer that worked on my property, I guess, passed away in 2019. I've contacted Florida Air Services. They're saying that they're not required to assist me. I've contacted other engineers. They don't want to take on the headache of going to my property to look at an AC that someone else installed. I submitted a business or a Better Business Bureau for flood area services. I want to comply, I just don't know what to do at this point. Other than taking the AC out, which I obviously don't want to do. I guess, I'm sorry, I don't
That's
know.
all right, that's all right. Inspector, what are you
Yeah,
recommending?
you can see me after the hearing. I'll help you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so at this point, we're going to give you the 42 days to do it, $50 a day if not, as a fine, if not done, but he's going to help direct you how to try to respond to this on time, okay?
Thank you.
All right, don't be intimidated by it, he will help you out. Okay, thank you. That's the order.
Our next case is on page 9. One second. Jeff, you have the next two cases on page 9, okay? Our next case is on page 9. Property address 1824 Southwest 11th Court. Owner Thomas P. Lanigan, case number CE 19030434. Notice posted at the property 6/26/23. Posted at City Hall 7/6/23. This is a new business case.
This is Inspector Franklin on behalf of the city presenting the case as read. The permit was left to expire as stated in today's agenda. The property was cited under FBC 2020, section 105.3.2.1. We're asking the owner to come into compliance within the next 42 days or a fine of $50 per day thereafter. I'll let the respondent speak.
Okay. And compliance means what, obtain a permit?
Yeah, permit issued.
Issued, okay. Yes, sir, name and address.
Hi, good morning. My name is Thomas Lanigan. I'm the owner of the property. I've been working with Inspector Franklin. He's been very helpful, and with the 42 days, I should be able to get into compliance.
Excellent. That'll be the order then. 42 days, fine, then we'll start, if not timely done, at $50 a day.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Our next case, also on page 9, property address 2120 Imperial Point Drive, case number BE 23030123. Owner Luis Villanueva, Maria Teresa Villanueva. Notice posted at the property on 6/24/23, posted at City Hall 7/6/23.
This is Inspector Franklin on behalf of the city presenting the case as read. I went to the property and observed an addition in the process of being built. I posted a stop work order. The property was cited under 9(1)D. Any violation of the Florida Building Code shall be a violation of this section and punishable as provided for in this section. There's construction work at this property that was started or completed without obtaining the required permits consisting of structural, roofing, impact windows and door, electric, and mechanical for the addition. The property was cited March 8th, 2023. The notice of hearing was posted June 26, 2023. And we are asking to find that the violation does exist and to grant the property owner to come into compliance within the next 63 days or a fine of $50 per day thereafter. We also request for this order to be recorded. I'll let the respondent speak.
Okay, your name and address?
My name is Maria Fatasholi Villanueva. I am the owner of the 2120 Imperial Point Drive. I live there with my daughter who has bipolar depression.
As what?
And, bipolar depression.
Okay.
Bipolar depression. I built that without permit. I am sorry for that, really, really sincerely, because I have the dog service for her, for my daughter. And it's impossible to have them outside the house because it's too hot, and raining too much. And inside the house, I am very allergic for the dog hair loss. I am very allergic for that. That's the reason we try to build that sunroom.
Okay, well, the city's proposing to give you more than 2 months, 63 days to get a permit. This needs a permit. You began work
Yes.
without a permit, hold on, which means all this work was done. They have no idea if it was done properly, so it has to be inspected after a permit is issued. So you've got to get a permit, do it within 2 months, and if it's not done, a fine will start, which we do not want to do. They want a $50 fine if you don't get this done. So you need a permit issued. You'll have to hire somebody, if you don't have somebody, to do this work for you.
Yes, sir. I hired a person who is with me.
My name is Pedro Saman, general contractor.
I'm fully aware of the situation. When she got the letter at the beginning, she tried to, on her own means, try to put this straight. She couldn't. That's when she called me, and when I explained the process of the after-the-fact permit. I been in contact even with you, I think so, and then I made engineering plans with the person I work with. We tried to accommodate what is existing, and now we are in the process with fully try to get the permit for this violation.
Okay, all right. So there's plenty of time to get it done. 63 days is enough time, I hope.
Yes, I agree with you. It's just the process take time. We have to, get the plans, get it done,
Right,
put
yeah.
it first on the process of the after the fact revision, and then it was submitted to the proper regular permit. It was, yes, looked like an extended time, but we try to put it as fast as we can.
Okay, well, you understand why it's important for her to have
Absolutely.
it so that it's safe. Electrical work, there's no way of knowing unless it's been inspected by the
Yes,
city.
just to put that part, only the shell was done. So the roof is in the process of being done, and I suggest that they at least let there, try to finish, because right now it's not secure with the rainy season. No electrical was done. Of course, it was being done, and not mechanical at this point was done as well. It will be, of course, but at this point, no electrical, no mechanical, only, not even plumbing. The project does not require plumbing. Only the part of the structural was done.
So you're trying to do work on the roof now?
I will not touch unless I have some conversation with the inspector. At least
You
let
probably
me finish the
stop-
roof to
Stop
dry.
work order on it?
Yeah, it's a stop work order, so don't proceed.
No, I won't.
You need to work with the inspector?
I will.
Contact him, and then find a way to get this resolved, to get her legal.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, all right, 63 days, or a fine of $50 a day, we said, right?
Yes.
Okay?
Thank you very much.
All right, thanks, folks.
Our next case, you done? Our next case is on page 22. Senior Inspector Jose Saragusti, property address 511 Northeast 3rd Ave, B. Owner Palmia 2 LLC, case number BE 23030142. This case was first heard on 5/18/23 to comply by 7/20/23. One section not complied at $100. This case was ordered to reappear.
Jose Saragusti, Building Inspector for the city, updating the case number as read. The case is not comply. I will let the respondent to speak.
Okay,
Good.
this is for Northeast Third Avenue, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Good morning, it's Stephanie Mayorga with Stephanie Toothaker's office on behalf of the property owner. We would appreciate a 91-day extension and hold the fines. We cannot pull building permits until we finalize the DRC site plan process, which we are currently in. We submitted that back in May 12th, and we received city comments on June 27th. So there's been a good faith effort to go through that process. We're responding to the DRC comments right now, but we can't resume building permitting until we finalize that site plan process.
Well, are they doing outdoor dining and food trucks now?
Yes, and we can't
Well,
remove those.
How can they do that without a permit?
I'm sorry?
How do they do that without a permit?
We have a temporary, we have a TCO that the
Tell
city.
us your name and address.
My name is Kim Lothard. I'm the owner of the property. We have a TCO that the city is supporting, and we just received our next extension on it.
Okay.
The city agree with the 91 days extension and the mandatory reappearance for the hearing.
Okay.
We would appreciate that.
And there are no fines in the meantime?
No.
Suspend the fines?
Stop the fines. Yes, we stop the fines.
Okay?
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Okay, folks, good luck.
Thanks very much.
Our next case is on page 11. Inspector Linda Holloway, property address 813 Southwest 4th Court, 1-4. Owner Sailboat Bend Residences LLC, case number BE 22020074. This case was first heard on 6/16/22 to comply by 8/18/22. Fine suspended as noted, one section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $12,200, which continues to accrue.
Good morning, everyone. Inspector Linda Holloway on behalf of the City of Fort Lauderdale. Case number and property address as read. Excuse me, as stated, the property is not yet in compliance. I have the owner of the property here who's been working very diligently to come into compliance, but is running into several challenges. And he's here to speak to the special magistrate to request an additional time.
Okay. Yes, sir, your name and address?
My name is Tony Ortiz. I'm the owner of the property at 813 Southwest 4th Court.
It's a 4-unit property, right?
Pardon?
4 units?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I've been complying with the engineers at the city and Mrs. Holloway. There's a wide variety of circumstances as to why we're here today. I continue to work diligently at trying to get us in compliant. Currently, it's with my survey company. Some additional information and drawings need to be done. I call them every day asking for an update. I called and left a message yesterday, and that's kind of where we're at this particular moment.
Okay. So what's the city's plan with this? Let the fine run
No, the city is requesting a 91-day extension, please.
with no suspending the fines?
Suspension of fines, please.
Okay. All right, they're willing to work with you, so.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so
That'll
much.
be yours. Thank you.
Our next case is on page 13, Senior Inspector Jose Sadagusti, property address 417 Northeast 11th Ave. Owner Deborah and Bent Phillipson, case number BE 2212-0100. This case was first heard on 3/16/23 to comply by 4/20/23. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $4,500, which continues to accrue.
Jose Saragusti, Building Inspector for the city, presenting the case number as read. The case is not comply. I will let the respondent to speak.
Okay, yes, sir, name and address?
Avenue, Fort Lauderdale, 33301. I'm here to represent the owner, Mr. Bent Phillipson.
Does he have to show
I brought the power
of
of
attorney?
attorney. Yes.
Do you have a power of attorney, sir?
Yes.
Did you submit it to the clerk?
I submitted it at the entrance, they took it from me.
Oh, you submitted at the table there?
Yes.
We okay?
Yes.
Okay, yes, sir.
may proceed.
Mr. Phillipson asked me to be on top of to expedite everything, and we started working on the permit, and it was just some error that we needed to fix, and I think it's been submitted already.
Okay, so this is for an accessory structure built in the backyard, but it has electrical and gas installations.
Yes.
Right? Okay. So those are obviously pretty critical to be checked
Yes.
and inspected with a permit. So I'm going to allow the fine to continue at $50 a day when it's in compliance. If you're trying to seek reduction, you can do what we talked about before, a possible lien reduction application to be considered. But at this point, it needs to be in compliance before you can do that.
Right.
Okay? So the fine's going to continue.
The city is requesting 63 days extension. The permit is in process. I already saw the permit. I think with the 63 days extension is okay.
And suspend the fines?
Stop the fines.
Okay, so they're giving you a break to stop the fines in the meantime, okay?
Thank you very much.
Okay, very good.
Thank you.
Okay.
Your Honor, just to be clear, you're revising your previous order.
I'm sorry?
You're rescinding your previous order to
Yes,
impose the
yes,
fines?
the order would-
Okay.
Okay.
Our next case is on, you're up next, Jose. Our next case is on page 15, Senior Inspector Jose Sadagusti, property address 1881 Davie Boulevard, owner HIG LLC, case number BE 2204-0027. This case was first heard on 10/20/22 to comply by 12/15/22. Fine suspended as noted. City is requesting, one section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $7,650, which continues to accrue.
Jose Saragusti, Building Inspector for the city, presenting the case number as read. The case is not comply. I will let the respondent to speak.
Okay, your name and address?
2761 North Pine Island Road. And I am the representative of the company is going to do the regulation for this program. I make the engineering, electrical plans and mechanical. I put the permits in the city. the city do the revision for the plans and it's already approval, but I haven't stopped in zoning department. I need to go to the zoning board hearing next September 14, and I put the survey for the property and all the papers for the zoning for the heating, and I need 91 days for try to fix this.
Okay, what are you going to the zoning board for? What are you seeking?
I'm sorry?
What are you seeking at the board?
Because I need a permit for the back special, construction.
It's a construction on the backyard. They need a variance.
A variance.
That's correct.
Okay, all right,
That's the reason.
okay. So are you okay with giving him the time to go to
The
the
city
board?
agree with the extension, 91 days extension,
With no fines?
with no fines, correct?
Okay, so that's a good thing
Oh,
for you.
thank you very
91
much.
days to get that resolved. Okay, sir, good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is a new business case on page 4. Senior Inspector Alexander Obores. Property address 1501 Southeast 15th Street. Owner, the Island Club Condo Association, Inc. Case number BE 23010100. Notice posted at the property 6/30/23, posted at City Hall 7/6/23.
Alexander Alvarez, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case number and address as read. The property was cited for violation of City Ordinance 9-3098. Chimneys, elevators, shafts, mechanical, and electrical equipment devices shall be maintained in a satisfactory state of repair. The mechanical equipment or cooling tower located adjacent to the boat dock is unstable and in disrepair. The case was opened January 20th, 2023. Inspection report mailed to the property owner January 20, 2023. Final notice February 23, 2023. The city is requesting for the magistrate to find the violation exists and grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter. City is also requesting for final order to be recorded. A respondent is here to speak.
Okay, your name and address?
Hi, my name is Rocky Stone. I live at 1501 Southeast 15th Street. I'm on the board of directors.
Okay.
And this has been kind of a comedy of errors, if you will. We lost our management company in late 2022. The two owners sued each other, so it put our financials and all of our records and our mail out of our reach. The original violations didn't make it to us because of that. And when we did hear about them, they got posted on a corkboard in our building. When we did hear about them, our president contacted, it's Alexander, right?
Alexander, yes, sir.
Okay. They started conversation about what this meant because the violation itself is kind of ambiguous. It doesn't really give us a detailed idea of what's going on. Unfortunately, that gentleman resigned from the board once he got started talking to Alexander. So our new president had to pick up the ball and try and do this again. Unfortunately, also, the original president didn't document any of the conversations he had. So we started from scratch, basically, there. We tried to go back and forth to get something in writing with emails as to what the violation really entailed, and we finally did get a definition, as he just showed, it needs support work. We have been trying to find an engineer. This is a very small job, and an engineer and a contractor that would work on it. They just don't. I mean, something strange is going on in the construction industry in this area because they have too much work. So we finally did find an engineer and a contractor who are working together. The engineer, we just found him last week. The engineer is putting a proposal together for us to adjust the situation do whatever's necessary in order to put the structure back in shape.
Okay.
And he is about 2 weeks out from giving us any kind of a proposal because he's so swamped with work. We understand what needs to be done at this point, I believe. There's still a little bit of gray area that we'd like to get ironed out with the inspector, but communication has been kind of difficult.
Okay.
So that's where we're at. The proposal, he said that he should have the proposal to us by next week. What my question becomes is, what can I get a definition of what compliance is? Does that mean that we've submitted plans and the permit? Or is that having the job done, or I don't know?
Yeah, I'll answer that question one more time. I answered that question to several people from your board already. There was an engineer that was gonna reach out to me, which never happened, so that I can explain to him what the situation is. Pretty much you have, there's a cooling tower in the common area that's not tied down and it's sitting on stepping stone, okay? That is in disrepair. It needs to be tied down. Hurricane season, it's coming. It's unstable. And to do that, they need to get the required permits and make it that it's in a functional and safe installation. So when you hire your engineer, have him reach out to me and I'll explain it to him. But if he does a site visit and looks at it, I mean, he'll know what he needs to make it
Right, and then
make
he
it
is
right.
planning on doing that, but that's at least 2 weeks out.
Okay, so we're, city's requesting 63 days, and if I may add, city would like to also request mandatory reappearance in 63 days.
Okay. All right, so 63 days to get this done, which means get a permit. Have your engineer get
Okay,
the
so-
permit.
so the-
Be in touch with him.
Just so
You
I-
don't need to know how it works. You have to trust the engineer to work with the inspector. It's obvious. You can't leave it on those, what are these things?
It's a cooling tower.
Yeah, but what are they?
The stepping stone.
Yeah,
Stepping
they're
stones.
stepping stone.
And we're already in the hurricane season, so the
Yeah,
risk, the
absolutely.
risk is that,
Part of the problem here, again, is that the management company went out of business. We
No, I get it.
already had a plan in place to do refurbishment on the tower, and a part of it was to tie it down again and do all of that.
Okay.
Unfortunately, when they went out of business, we didn't even have, for almost 2 months, we didn't have access to our financials.
Yeah, I see.
So, it's just, like I
Okay.
said, it's just a
Well-
comedy of errors here
Okay.
that has, caused us to, go so long at this point.
all right, well, also, if you're not getting notice, you need to work, whoever's doing the notice work, to make sure that the notice is on the Broward County Property Appraiser's website, so the city knows where to send notice. If you're having different people, and it's
Yeah, I
going-
believe that the address is correct
Is
at this
now
point.
accurate?
It should be the address that's on this
Okay.
document at this
Okay.
point.
Well,
So-
63 days, but if not done, it'll be $50
Well,
a day.
okay, again, can I understand what
Permit,
not
get a
done
permit,
means?
Get a permit. The
A
engineer
permit.
gets
The permit has to be filed, and that's compliance.
And the repair is complete.
Okay, I know that we're not going to be able to do that in 63 days. That's just not going to happen. I've
So-
already been told by the engineer and the
They can work with you to, if they need an
contractor.
extension, they can work with you if it's needed. You would,
Yes, 63 days, it'll be a mandatory reappearance. You'll have the opportunity to come back and update the magistrate as to the progress. And depending on the progress that has been done so far, then if a decision will be made whether an extension is granted at that point or not.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. But if we get the permit and everything in place and we have a plan started to
no,
do
you
this.
said the work completed.
Right.
Yeah,
Permit and work done.
I understand.
Mr.
Part of
Magistrate.
the problem with this is an air conditioner system. And in order to do this work, they're going to have to take the AC system offline. They're telling me it's going to be offline for almost 2 weeks. That's 2 weeks of 20 units living in this heat without air conditioning. I mean, that is kind of a big deal, I think.
It's got to be fixed. What can I tell you? What did you
Yeah,
want to say?
Assistant City Attorney Patricia Saintville Joseph. Sir, I understand the property, the gentleman's issue, but at this point, the only thing the city is willing to agree to is the 63 days, the fines, and the mandatory reappearance. Once the gentleman complies, then with your order, then we can move forward and consider, and he or his team can stay in contact with the inspector to make sure that the project is moving along, and if necessary, I'm sure that they can come to an understanding. But at this point, we cannot consider anything else until he complies.
Understood. Okay.
Okay,
All right.
so
Alex, did
what
you
I
want the
should,
order recorded as well?
Sorry?
Did you ask for the order to be recorded?
Yes.
Okay.
And that they also said it's going to be a mandatory reappearance, which means you get an order to come back.
I understood that, I
Okay.
understood that,
All right.
yes.
Okay.
So what I should do, if I may, is I need to get our engineer in contact with you, and you guys need to talk.
I'm gonna
so
give
that
you
he
my
knows
card now.
exactly what's
You
going
can
on.
call me.
Okay,
after they
all right,
hear.
so we can
Yeah,
do that
thank you.
offline and get out and leave these people so that they can get to the rest of them. Thank you very much, I
Thank you,
appreciate it.
sir. Good luck.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 14. Senior Inspector Jose Satagusti, property address 620 Northwest 15th Ave. Owner, Anair Gonzalez Edgar Lima, case number BE 211-20011. This case was first heard on 4/14/62 to comply by 6/16/22. Did I say 62? Sorry. 4/14/22.
That's pretty old.
To comply by 6/16/22. One section not complied at $50. City's requesting to impose the full amount of $9,450, which continues to accrue. There are 3 extensions noted.
Okay.
Jose Saragusti, Building Inspector for the city, presenting the case number as read. The case is not complied. I will let the respondent to speak.
Hi, yes, good morning. I am still working on, sorry, my name is Anair Gonzalez. I'm the property owner.
Okay.
I am still working on it, and I do apologize for the extended time. Unfortunately, part of what my issue is with this property is that the co-owner and I are getting divorced, and so there's a lot of issues.
The co-owner and you what?
The co-owner and I are getting divorced. So we are kind of having the legalities behind that happening before I can move forward with some of the work. It's kind of like on hold right now. So I would need an extension because unfortunately, to be honest with you, who does the work kind of depends on that legal agreement that's going to happen from the divorce. We do know that it has to be done regardless. But unfortunately, whether it's him or I who has to put the money forward is what's kind of pending right now.
Okay, well, it looks like you've already had several suspensions, right? They've had
The case, it has extensions.
3 times.
It has three extensions.
Are you willing to do another extension?
Yes, I will like to, the city is requesting 63 days extension.
With no fines?
No fines, stop the fines.
All right, you're in luck. You get another one.
Thank you, I do
But it
appreciate
is
it.
important to get it done. It's not
Yes,
that
absolutely.
complicated. I
And
get,
Yeah.
I will request the mandatory reappearance.
okay.
Case number BE 2305-0135. This case was ordered to reappear. This case was first heard on 6/15/23 to comply by 7/20/23. One section not complied at $250.
Good morning, all. Inspector Leonardo Martinez, representing the city. The case is not in compliance. I'm gonna let the defendant, the representative
It
speak.
is not in compliance?
No, it's not compliant.
Okay.
I'm gonna
So
let the
it needs a
representative.
CO, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Good morning, Andrew Shine with Locker and Chalkus representing the property owner. I did a very rough drawing. I hope you can see it from here. I did a very rough drawing. I hope you can see it from here. This is a 4 townhouse unit development. The one with the code violation is unit 4. This hatched line here is a proposed access easement behind all the units. We've been working with the city to get the final CO, and the only thing outstanding for the CO is to get the easement done and recorded. The easement has to be signed by all 4 property owners, and owner 2 refuses to sign it. So, owner 4, who is the one subject to this, has signed it. We have tried getting in contact with owner 2 via email, text, phone call, certified mail, almost everything. knocking on their door, and have not been able to get a hold of them to sign the easement. So right now, we're going to need to work with the city to figure out possibly another solution to it. Maybe the city can somehow get them to sign the easement. But at the moment, owner number 4, this is not a life safety issue. They've had all the inspections and everything. Owner number 4 is being punished for owner number 2's malfeasance. So we've been talking to John Travers and Joe over there to come up with a solution, but we do need additional time to get a hold of them. So I think we agreed before this to 63 days.
City agrees.
And suspend the fines?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you want a reappearance again?
Yeah, 63 days to
With
reappearance.
your reappearance again in, okay?
Absolutely, yeah. Hopefully it's settled before then, but
Yeah, that would be
absolutely.
good. Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Our next case is on page 10. Inspector Jeff Franklin. Property address 2825 Southwest 13th Court. Owner Addis D. and Ernesto J. Juarez. Case number BE 2109-0004. Notice posted at the property on 6/23/23, posted at City Hall 7/6/23.
Inspector Franklin, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. I went to the property and observed a shed built in the backyard. The property was cited under 91D. Any violation of the Florida Building Code shall be a violation of this section and punishable as provided for in this section. There's construction work at this property that was started or completed without obtaining the required permits, consisting of shed in the backyard. The property was cited March 6, 2023. The notice of hearing was posted June 26, 2023. We're asking to find that the violation does exist and to grant the property owner to come into compliance within the next 63 days or a fine of $50 per day thereafter. We also request for this order to be recorded. I'll let the respondent speak.
Yes, sir, name and address?
Morning. Ernesto Juarez, I'm the property owner. I do have a permit, but unfortunately the permit got to zoning, and zoning requires a variance. I won't be able to comply because I'm in the September thing for,
You can't comply because why?
I need a variance.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so I need to, in order to comply, I need to go to the September meeting. Okay,
Did you
63
already-
days
did you
won't be
file?
enough.
Did you file with the board to do that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So 63 days, he's not gonna make that, is he? September?
Are you scheduled for the variance hearing?
Well, I already submitted all the paperwork. They're going back and forth of what I needed. The other step was, it has to be digitally signed. They asked me for a new survey. They asked me for the property appraisal stuff. So, I mean, I got all the documents. It's just going back and forth with Mrs. Shalika Williams, which is the administrative assistant. So I'm working on it. It's just I won't have the time. So I'll probably need 90 days in order to do that.
So he's not even scheduled.
You should be scheduled by this point.
Sir, have you been provided a case number or any potential hearing date?
No, she told me that I won't make it to the August hearing rate.
Or you will not make it?
Okay, I won't make it. So it's September.
But you could make that, she said, if you get these documents.
Yes, and I'm working back and forth,
Okay,
to get the documents, which I have.
Okay.
I have all the proof right here that I have the
You
documents.
have the survey and all those other things?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
If you want to see it, I got it.
No, I think it,
Yeah.
you have to make her happy, not me on that, okay?
Just so you know, Your Honor, if the gentleman's unable to make the August, the inspector can grant an additional.
Well, let's give him,
Right.
we know he's not gonna make August, so let's.
Okay.
How many days do we need to give him then? What do you think? Jeff? 90. So is it 90 or what's the number? 91 days.
To be exact, 91 will bring you to,
October 19th,
correct.
okay. So.
Now, they did tell me that the variance I have to go, and although I get onto the September thing, I won't get a resolution until the next day because they have to approve the minutes or something like that.
Right.
So I won't have it, so I don't know if that's gonna hold the permit, I have no idea.
Well, they're giving you till October 19th, Jeff, to do what? What does he need to do by October 19th?
The permit needs to be issued.
Okay, you need to get a permit issued by then. What's the date of the September hearing for the board, do you know?
I think it's the 19th, if I'm
Okay.
not mistaken.
All right, so
With
that
the
gives you-
14, I don't
All right,
remember. I don't-
but that gives you a month after the board hearing to get all this done and get the permit. All right?
I'm working,
I
I
know,
mean, I
I'm-
I did submit it right away. When he
Okay.
tagged me, I went and I submitted it.
Well, all right, we're gonna give you 91 days to do it, otherwise a fine will start of $50. If you're running into trouble, you need to make sure you're working with the inspector to see if you need an extension, but only if you do need it, to ask for it. I'm not sure he can grant it, but this should not be that hard to do if you get the variance. Okay?
Fair enough.
All right, $50 a day, if not timely done, 91 days. All right, sir?
Okay, so 91 days and thereafter the fines. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Special Magistrate, at this time, the city is requesting a brief recess.
Okay.
Thank you for your patience, all. Now, our next case is on page 2. Gentlemen, gentlemen, we're back in recording again. Thank you. Our next case is actually on page 13 because I don't see Inspector Holloway here. So we're going to go to page 13, Senior Inspector Leonardo Martinez, property address 2841 North Ocean Boulevard, owner Vantage View, Inc., case number BE 2208-0106. This case was first heard on 2/16/23 to comply by 4/13/23. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $4,850, which continues to accrue.
Good morning, Inspector Martinez, case and address as read. There was a permit applied for stormwater drainage on July 12th of 2023. The permit is being reviewed as now. I'm gonna let representative to speak.
Okay, tell us your name and address and, capacity with the property.
Okay, thank you. Good morning. My name's Crystal Ortega, and I'm the property manager at the property.
Okay.
Yes, so as Mr. Martinez has already read, permit's been submitted. July 12th was when it was issued. We have a permit number, but just yesterday we were notified that the plans needed to be enlarged. So after this hearing, I'm going to run over to the city and submit enlarged plans. So I'm kindly requesting a 28-day extension.
The city will agree to it. They were trying to submit the correction or to answer the correction of the plan examiner, but initially the application was on papers, and they tried to submit the correction electronically, and if you start your process on paper, you gotta finish it on paper. So the city will agree to a 28-day extension.
Okay, no fines.
No fines.
Okay. That'll
Thank
be
you,
the
Your
order.
Honor.
Thank you.
Okay, good luck.
Our next case is on page 2. Inspector Linda Holloway, property address 2221 Southwest 28th Way, case number BE 2208-0120. Owner George J. Crissione. Notice posted at the property on 7/1/23, posted at City Hall 7/6/23.
Good morning, Inspector Linda Holloway on behalf of the City of Fort Lauderdale Building and Construction Division, presenting case BE 2208-0120, property address 2221 Southwest 28th Way. Permits PM-20091019 and sub-permits were left to expire as stated on today's agenda. The city is requesting 42 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
Yes,
Sir?
sir. Oh, I'm sorry. Your name and address, sir?
Okay. I've never been out of compliance.
Your name and address, please.
My name, George Crissione, 2221 Southwest 28th Way.
Okay.
I have never been out of compliance, so it would be hard for me to comply. Work has never stopped on that house. We have never failed to call a 90-day job check, and I don't know what they're talking about. Since my last inspection, we did almost $300,000 of interior work, 7,200 square feet of tile, brand-new kitchen, stairs and banisters, all things that don't require a permit or don't require an inspection. They're inspected on the final. I never stopped work on that house. So this is an erroneous charge, and I don't know, I feel prejudiced.
Okay. What are we saying about his permits being expired, though?
So the permit in question was for a single-family addition and the sub-permits. The permit was opened back in 2009, I believe. I'll have to check. 2002.
Okay?
2002?
Yeah.
Well, we had issues going the way we did. We had built it and had the house framed upstairs and downstairs when you guys annexed Fort Lauderdale. I was unincorporated Broward. And they said that for Fort Lauderdale, the second floor tie beam was too high and we had to lower it. We had to tear the whole second floor out. We had to change the first floor because we raised the second floor so we could have a vaulted ceiling in the rec room. Anyway, so we had to go back to engineering. The second thing is we couldn't put the patio where we wanted it because the door was in the wrong place. This is a retrofit. So we put in a change order to do the door and the patio. And again, you guys had just got annexed, and it took you 7 months to issue me that change order. I mean, we had COVID. We've had a lot of situations. Plus, we didn't borrow any money to do this.
Okay, well, she's recommending 42 days to get this cleared up.
To get what cleared up?
The fact that the permit's expired. You say they didn't, she says they do. I'm taking her word on it because she has the records. So you got 42 days to address that. This lady wants to speak. You gotta
Your name,
tell us who
ma'am?
you are.
My name is Lisa Street.
You gotta come up to the microphone.
My name is Lisa Street. I'm George Chrisione's wife. What I want to bring to light is that I was calling in for job check inspections. Like, I think we had to have one at least 180 days to keep the permit alive.
Correct.
And I was doing that, and the inspector right there, I don't know her name, she was, after the third or fourth or fifth job check, she goes, "Do you need me to come out to look in or look at anything, or are you just trying to keep the permit alive?" And I told her, "I'm just trying to keep the permit alive." And she wasn't even coming out to the house anymore. So during this time, I think she's making entries into the computer that we're okay, that we don't have to start from ground zero on the permit. And then she just stopped coming out and then I got the notice that, oh, your permit's expired, you can't call for job checks on that anymore. And I asked if I could reinstate it, with some kind of a fee, because I've renewed those permits so many times, like 4 times. You can probably check that out. Probably $10,000 to $12,000 just for that. And now, because she didn't make an entry, our permits are now expired.
Okay.
And then we never got notice that your permit's getting ready to expire, you haven't worked. Then we could have fixed this all with a phone call, but they never sent me a notice or an intent to remove my permit. They just waited, and one day they decided to do it.
Okay,
I don't know.
let me hear from the city.
Your Honor, Joe Pasquarello, Assistant Building Official. I just want to, everyone to understand that this
Use the
permit.
microphone, Joe.
This permit is going on since 2002. We're just looking to see that the job gets completed. A job inspection is not enough to justify keeping a permit open. What the city and the code requires is active
I could show
progress.
you pictures of what we've done.
It requires,
Hold on,
sir, allow me to finish.
Don't interrupt him.
What the code requires is that there's active permits or an approved inspection. A job check is only a way to circumvent the system and is not an approved method to keep the permit active.
Okay.
21 years, there's no justification. Granted, there was COVID and there's other extenuating circumstances where the city will certainly consider, but 21 years to build an addition, just, the neighbors are, already, and the city is, beyond being
Okay, I'm
sympathetic.
going to give you 42 days to come into the city to work this out and find out what's going on, so you know what to do, or a fine is going to start of $50 a day, which I don't want, you don't want to pay. So come in here. 21 years is a long, long time to be working. Hold on. I'm not gonna, not,
It wasn't an addition.
okay, it doesn't matter. I'm not debating it. I'm telling you what we're gonna do, because we got other people waiting here. 42 days to get it resolved with the building department? Should they make an appointment to see you, or what?
Yeah, they can, once the work is complete, they can call for an inspection.
Is the work completed?
All the work.
It's a yes or no question.
No, it isn't.
Okay.
All the work that required an inspection has been done and inspected. All the interior doors and trim work and cabinetry and tongue and grooves on the ceiling and 7,000 square feet of tile on the floors, it doesn't require an inspection, and that's what we've been working on. And I've got pictures to show you
All right,
everything we've
hold
done
on.
in the last
What-
year.
What do you want him to do?
Okay, so if everything's completed, then you would need to take it to the next step and call for a final inspection, followed up by submitting the proper paperwork to get a certificate of occupancy.
Can you reopen the permit for me to do that?
It can be open, you could, you would, it would be required for you to request the permit to be renewed through proper application. But again, renewing the permit and then for us to be back here in 180 days is not resolving the issue. We're here to encourage you to complete the final inspection. What you're describing, it doesn't make sense why the final inspection is not being called in.
Well, we weren't ready for the final.
But you just finished saying everything's completed.
Everything is completed.
So what
except
part's
for
not ready?
One bathroom that they're just finishing up. But I mean, as
Well,
far
a
as
bathroom is
the
kind of
10,000 square foot house, everything is completed.
It's 21 years.
That's okay. It's allowed.
Well, since then, we've gotten a kidney, we've had health issues, we have had storm after storm. Just recently, 2 months ago, our whole house had a foot of water in it. Have a heart. Will you have a heart?
Okay, but bear in mind, we're talking about 21 years. Hold on, I'm still talking. Get this done. You got 42 days to get it done, or a fine starts. I don't want the fine. If you need to make an appointment to talk to them, then come in and do that. If you didn't understand what he just said, it's clear to me. It should be clear to you. If you still have a bathroom that's not done, you're not ready for a final inspection. So work this out, but otherwise, the fine is going to start.
Well, we have done this 100% out of pocket. We haven't taken a single loan. out.
talking about-
So in between, different sections of the house, we have had to, reestablish.
I'm not sure we can get a final inspection even when the house is completed, because we did have a foot and a half of water in the whole house thanks to the drainage here. And now they have to come in and they have to cut all my sheetrock that I just hung, just painted. They got to pull all the trim off. And I don't know how long that's going to take.
That already started.
Okay, I'm going to recommend you come in and meet with you all, okay? Can you do that? Come in and have a meeting, or go out there and meet them at the site?
Yeah, you could see, they cut our walls down again.
All right, I understand.
mean,
The flooding hurt a lot of people, I get that.
we haven't.
But again, the order's gonna say 42 days to do it. So work with them, they will come out there to show you what to do, or, so you'll know, and they'll know what to do. You want to come back?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do what's called a mandatory reappearance, that you have to come back. All right?
we'll
All right,
come
and then
back.
we'll know what the status is then.
Okay, but
Okay.
in the meanwhile, can you reopen my existing
I'm gonna leave that to
2002
him, what you're gonna know.
permit?
You would have to go through the channels of submitting an application and allow the building official to approve that or not.
Okay, so you're telling me to start from zero?
Okay.
Start over?
We're gonna make it
Yes.
63
Yes.
days for what's called a mandatory reappearance. So you have a little over 2 months to get this resolved. But you need to work with them. If you don't understand what to do, either come in here or have them meet you out there, which I prefer, so you know what on site, and then bring this back after the 63 days, or the fine would start, okay?
Are we meeting somebody at the house?
I'm recommending that somebody, Ms. Holloway, go out there, or
Me.
You would need to go to the building department, submit an application. My suggestion would be to meet with the building official, explain to him your extenuating circumstances, and he would be the one to whether approve or deny your request.
Could I get a list of the inspections that need to be finalized?
You most certainly can go down to the building department and request that information. I have that.
Okay.
Okay, folks,
All
thank
right, so
All
what,
right.
we come back in 63 days?
Yeah.
Your Honor,
Okay. Okay, 63 days, $50 if not timely done, mandatory reappearance. That'll be the order. You'll get it in the mail. Okay?
and for the record, I'd like to read the permit number in. It's it's PM-02091019 and the subs that go along with this permit. Thank you.
Okay, folks.
Okay.
Thank you.
Our
Thank
next
you.
case is on page 18, Chief George Oliva, property address 901 East Cypress Creek Road, owner Pinecrest AP LLC, in care of law offices of Scott A. Frank, PA. Case number BE 21070057. This case was first heard on 11/18/21 to comply by 12/30/21. One section complied at $100. Total fines, $28,300. City is requested to vacate the previous order from 3/16/23 and reimpose fines for to administrative costs of $1,275.
Okay, what was the address on this?
Oh, it's on page 18,
Oh,
901 Cypress Creek.
George Oliva, on behalf of the city, the gentleman has two cases. You want me to do both, one after the other one, or you're gonna read one and then
One
read
at a
this?
time. 901
Okay.
first.
Okay, so we're gonna start with 057 case, right?
Yes.
Okay, George Oliva, on behalf of the city, case and address as read. The case came into compliance and the owner submit the report to the city. So now the city is gonna be requesting the administration cost for the hearing of $1,275.
All right, yes, sir.
No, I already said it.
Name and address?
Michael Cervalli, property manager for 901 East Cypress Creek Road.
Okay, so you accept the.
Agree.
Paying the administrative costs in lieu of the fine.
Understood.
All right, so ordered. Then the other case?
And you want
And
to
and vacate the old case.
Thank you.
Yeah. One more.
Property address 903 East Cypress Creek Road, case number BE 21070056, owner Pinecrest AP LLC, in care of law offices of Scott A. Frank, PA. This case was first heard 11/18/21 to comply by 12/30/21. One section complied at $100. Total fines, $26,700. City is requested to vacate the previous order from 3/16/23 and reimpose fines to administrative costs of $1,275.
George Oliva for the city, case and address as read. They are in compliance and the city requested to vacate the previous order and reduce the fine to an administration cost of $1,275.
And I suppose this is acceptable as well.
Agreed as well.
So we'll vacate the old order, pay this within 30 days, and everything will be good.
Understood.
Thank you, kind sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 8, Inspector Jeff Franklin. Property address 825 East Las Olas Boulevard, owner Las Olas 825 LLC. Case number BE 23030058. Notice posted at the property on 6/24/23, posted at City Hall 7/6/23.
Good morning. This is Inspector Franklin on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. I responded to the location with the Senior Inspector Leonardo Martinez. I observed new metal fence, impact windows and doors, electric work and framing. The property was cited under 91D. Any violation of the Florida Building Code shall be a violation of this section and punishable as provided for in this section. There is construction work at this property that was started or completed without obtaining the required permits, consisting of the new fence, the impact windows and doors, electric work, and new framing. The property was cited 3/2/23. The notice of hearing was posted 6/26/2023. We are asking to find that the violation does exist and to grant the property owner to come into compliance within the next 63 days or a fine of $50 thereafter. We also request for the order to be recorded. I'll let the respondent speak.
Yes, name and address?
Yeah, hi, David Cardesi. I'm actually a tenant. I said owner back there, but I should have said tenant. We took over the property from a previous tenant that went bankrupt.
What do you need?
And it's,
One second.
One moment, please.
Sir, Assistant City Attorney Patricia St. Joseph, do you have a power of attorney to
Speak on
appear?
behalf of the owner?
no?
Yeah, because you're a tenant, you're not the property owner.
Oh.
We need a power of attorney, or we need some kind of written authorization. You can speak on behalf of the owner.
I guess I'm out of here. I don't have anything.
You won't be able to speak. I mean, we're still gonna hear the case and move forward, but you can't speak on the case.
Okay, can't speak on it? Okay,
I mean,
sorry for that.
We can speak, but
he can speak, but you
But-
can speak, and the special magistrate will hear what you have to say, but in
Sure.
terms of,
but you don't have the power to bind the owner without their
Correct.
permission.
Understand.
This is a restaurant. What's the name of this thing?
Excuse me?
Name of the restaurant?
It's called Palm Room.
What?
Palm Room.
Okay.
Originally, there was a tenant in there opening up a cigar bar. They went bankrupt, more or less, didn't finish their project. So we took it over. It was their legacy permit and their construction plans. So we finished it up, and it's been a bit of a rat's nest, unwinding everything and getting things figured out. We had Jason Crush and his law firm do some work for us, and we got a few of the things sorted out. But it'd be good if we could speak offline and maybe figure out how to get it figured out to get the rest of it finished. And I know I can't speak on behalf of the owner, but if there's a way that there could be a few more days than 60, 62, it'd be helpful.
We don't support a further extension.
No?
No.
So it'd be 63 days, $50 fine if not timely done. But you want to get something so you can speak on behalf of the owner and work with the inspector.
Sure, will
And
do.
if an extension is warranted, he will do what he can if it's warranted. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Sorry for the confusion.
Not a problem.
Our next case is on page 11. Senior Inspector Alexander Boris, property address 2643 Gulfstream Lane, owner Cherry House LLC, case number BE 2208-0290. This case was first heard on 2/16/23 to comply by 4/20/23. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $4,500, which continues to accrue.
Inspector Alvarez for the city updating you on case number and address is read. Case not in compliant, city will allow the respondent to speak.
Okay, tell us your name and address.
My name's John Colpani. I'm with Colpani Construction. I'm the general contractor working with Miss Cherry. This is the owner of the property. She's co-owner with John Cherry. He's a renowned roofing contractor for the city of Fort Lauderdale. So we are here doing the right thing. We're going to bring this house to compliance. We have the necessary permits that are in processing right now, and with the sub-permits. So we're just waiting for them to be issued so the house can be in compliance. There has been a change of ownership on April 26th, and it was never brought to Ms. Cherry's attention that there were daily fines incurred onto this
I
property.
wasn't aware until April 26th.
Hold on, I need her to come up and tell us your name and address.
I'm sorry, excuse me?
Tell us your name, address, your name, your address.
My name is Samantha Cherry. I'm the owner of the property. Okay, so I was not aware of the fines being incurred. I just found out about those today. I've been doing everything I can to get this property in compliance with my contractor. When I did take over the property on April 26th, that was done so because my partner I had a business partner, Justin Hamilton, who was supposed to be taking care of all of these things. And he was lying to me, and he was not taking care of them. So a quitclaim deed was signed, and he signed the property over to me, and I inherited these problems. Now, I want to get this done as soon as possible, and I want to be in compliance. And that's basically it. John, you want to tell him where you're at?
We'll do whatever is necessary.
All right, understood. Okay, Inspector, what do you recommend?
This time, the city does not support any extension. The case was created almost a year ago. Permit application has been submitted, but there are no permits issued yet. It's still in the review process. Initially, it was applied for in January, and the initial construction documents were incomplete, and the rest of the submittal was not provided till like several months after. So the city at this time does not support any extension.
Okay, so the fine's gonna continue to run. You need to get the work done, and then when it's done and in compliance, we can look at the fine and what to be done, if anything.
Okay, so the fines are going to continue to accumulate until we finish. Is that what you're saying?
Until you comply.
Until we comply, which is getting a final.
Permits issued.
Permits issue with permits, okay.
Yeah, once the permits are issued, all the required permits are issued, the case will come into compliance.
Yeah, you know, I was a little naive when I got involved with this business partner, and he stole from me. That's why he signed the houses over to me, and it's just all hitting me. So is there any way that once I do become compliant, we can work something out with
Yes,
these fines?
if you were here earlier, I talked about this thing called a lien reduction program. When you're in compliance, you would come back, seek to abate or reduce the lien amount, which is the fine. And if it's warranted, myself or the other magistrate may be able to do that, depending on the facts at that time. But you need to be fully in compliance before you can even ask for that, okay?
Okay, and are we gonna have a problem getting the permits issued?
No, we're just waiting.
Just waiting for them to approve them?
So I'm going to enter an order to impose the fine, and the fine will continue to accrue. Your job will be to work with the inspector to get these permits issued.
What is the amount up to right now?
4,500? Oh, where am I here? 4,500, yeah. 4,500.
Accruing daily at $50.
Is
Okay.
there any way to reduce that?
Not yet.
No, I mean the daily amount that's
No,
accruing.
no.
Okay.
That's already an order. I can't change that now.
Well,
$50 a day is very low, very low. Yes, sir. Question?
My question is, because we were unaware of what's going on, we were in the dark. Is there any way to pause it? Since we know, I mean, we are here now, we are addressing it. Is there any way to?
Well, you and I have been in communication for several months. You've been
Right.
aware of this whole time. We've been in communication for how long now? Several months?
Yeah, we have been working together.
Yes, once the case, the best thing to do right now is working to coming into compliance. Get it in compliance as soon as.
Case number BE 2204-0107, owner Angela Becco. This case was first heard on 11/17/22 to comply by 2/16/23. Fine suspended as noted, one section complied at $50. Total fines, $3,050. City is requesting to reduce fines to administrative costs of $964.12.
Building Inspector Leo Martinez, representing the city, case and others as read. The case is in compliance. I'm gonna let the owner to speak.
Yes, your name and address?
Angela Becco, 1611 Northeast 56th Street.
Okay, so they're proposing to not impose the fine and just impose the costs for their work. $964.12 due within 30 days, okay? All right, so ordered. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 1. It's a new business case. Senior Inspector Leonardo Martinez, property address 101 Southeast 16th Ave, 1-6, owner Sky 1822 LLC, case number BE 2306-0133. Notice posted at the property on 6/30/23, posted at City Hall 7/6/23.
Good morning, Your Honor. Building Inspector Martinez again, representing the city, case and others as read. James Johnson, who is the tenant of Unit 4, gave me access to the rear balcony of the building from his unit. Unit 4 is located in the second floor. While standing in the balcony located in the rear, I observed that some of the connections from the railings to the balcony concrete floor were deteriorated as shown in my photos. Back in the office, I was able to contact the owner, Mr. Letourneau, and I explained what I saw in regard of the railings of his building. I informed him that the city would allow him to do the repair on the supervision of an engineer, but we will need to provide, but he will need to provide a signed and sealed letter from that engineer with a prescribed remedy, and also he will need to obtain the required permit for the repair. He informed me that he will visit the property to evaluate the situation and to contact an engineer as I recommended. He said that he will be calling me back. After a few days without receiving any update, I contacted Mr. Letourneau, the owner, and he informed me that the same day I talked to him, he visited the building and he did some repairs to the railing to secure them. I explained that the city appreciates he took action right away, but he will need to provide the engineer letter with his approval on the repairs as I informed him, and also apply and obtain a permit for the work that was performed. The property was cited on the Florida Building Code 2020, Section 116.1.1, unsafe structure, unsafe building, or a structure shall be demolished and removed from the premise or made them safe. And the property also was cited on the City Ordinance 9-280B, building parts not maintained, and the correction is all part and area subject to deterioration should be properly maintained and suitable, protected from the elements. Obtain all the required permits and make the repairs as required. This case was opened on June 21st of 2023. The notice of hearing was posted in the property on June 30 of 2023. We have not received any engineer letter as requested, nor any permit application for the repairs that took place has been submitted. We're asking your honor to find that the violation does exist and to grant the property owner 28 days to come into compliance, or fines of $50 per violation per day thereafter. For the violations of the City Ordinance 9-280B, I would like also the order to be recorded, your honor.
Okay. Yes, sir, your name and address?
Yes, good morning. My name is Glenn Messier. I'm just one of the property managers to that building.
Okay, these railings look extremely dangerous.
Correct.
Extremely dangerous.
Correct. We'd had 3 companies out there come out, got 3 estimates. Owner is working on getting everything done, submitting permits and getting the job done. Just requesting more time to get everything compliant.
Are there people living on this second floor?
Yes.
I need you to tape off this railing with notices in, if there's any people that are Creole or Spanish, I want the language in English, Spanish, Creole, not to go near this railing, and put barriers so they don't touch these railings.
Yeah, currently right now they have done that, yes.
It's all been done?
Yes.
It has noticed so people know not to do that? I don't see, I don't have the pictures of what you've done, but I want to know it's safe so people won't, in the meantime, before it gets fixed. It is, right?
Yes.
Okay. How much time do we think we're going to give them?
28 days
28
due
days.
to this is a safety
To get a
issue.
permit?
Yes.
28 days to get a permit?
Then they need an engineer with the prescribed remedy, and after that, they need to come to the city and apply for the permit.
Okay, so you need an engineer to help you on this. You can't do this by yourself.
Okay, just so I understand, so I need an engineer?
Engineer prescribe the remedy and come to the city and apply for the repair permit.
So get an engineer and do what, did you say?
Engineer report and a permit.
Engineer report?
We need a report from an engineer with a prescribed remedy of how he's
With
going to
he's
fix
gonna
that.
fix it. Something that describes in the report, that they submit to the city, how he's going to fix it. But that's going to be done within 28 days.
Yes, sir.
And the permit has to be issued within 28 days?
Yes, sir. That's, I mean, if they get the engineer like I requested since day one, and they come forward to apply to submit a permit application, I will help them to go through fast and get this resolved.
Okay, this looks extremely dangerous.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so you're going to have to move quickly.
Correct.
Get
So
the
this is
engine-
for the engineering permit for the 28 days. And not-
This is to get an engineer to prepare a report, how this can be fixed, submit that report to this gentleman, stay in touch with this gentleman, and if he can, he will give you whatever time is needed But I am really worried about people going against this railing, whether they're children or other people that don't know what's doing and falling.
Correct.
And it's looks really, really dangerous. So I hope it is blocked off, that people know not to go near this. You're saying it is. Have you seen it? Is it blocked off?
I haven't been in the building. I've been trying to get, I talked to the owner since he didn't get back to me. This happened within the last 20 days or something like that, and that's, but I called him and I asked him, and he said that he's secure, meaning a repair. He didn't understand why he needs an engineer and why he needs a repair permit. That's why, you know.
I could figure that out, and I'm a lawyer.
We're here.
So you need to get this done. I would like you to go back and inspect it if you would.
I will.
To make sure, if it's not secure, that makes you feel safe, tell him what he needs to do to make it safe, because I'll put that in my order. It's
Okay.
to be secured per your, is that okay? All right, per your recommendation. In the meantime, I don't want anybody near this.
I just want to make a point that that's the exit and the back of a unit. Every unit has the rear of the unit.
Oh, okay.
So that's an exit, but still it's unsafe.
Yeah, it's
So,
clearly unsafe. But again, people with children, kid goes out there and knocks it over, and they fall and they die.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yeah, they're not just that area, we're getting that resolved. The owner's gonna change all the railings in the whole building.
Pretty much that's what's going to happen. That he's going to have to replace the whole railing because it's not up to code. That's a very unsafe. As you see it, any kid can go and fall.
Yeah.
Anybody visiting
or
any
an elderly
kid.
person that trips or something.
That's what was his resistance, I guess, in order for him to hire an engineer, because I knew that an engineer wouldn't sign something like that.
Right, okay, this has got to be addressed immediately.
Correct.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
So that's the order is
Your Honor,
what now?
just to clarify, Assistant City Attorney Patricia Saintville Joseph, due to the life safety issues, we just want to clarify again, there's 3 steps. One is you need to cordon off or protect that area
Correct.
To his
from the
satisfaction.
residents, and
Okay.
you have to call for an inspection.
Okay.
Or he will go for an inspection, and if you don't do that, then we will have to come back and revisit
Understood.
this. And 2, you have to get an engineer report with some kind of plan on how this is going to be addressed.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
bring this matter up to code. And 3, you need to get a permit, and this all has to be done within the 28 days,
Yeah,
just
that's
to
it.
clarify. And that is the order.
Can I get your information?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you got a card?
Thank you.
for him? Got a business card?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Your Honor, at this time, this concludes all our respondents. This gentleman is just waiting for a case, to hear the case, so.
Okay.
Okay, going back to page 1, Senior Inspector Jorge Martinez, property address 711 Alabama Ave, owner James W. Pettis, case number BE 200-50026. Notice posted at the property 6/30/23, posted at City Hall 7/6/23.
Inspector Martinez for the city, presenting case as read. Permits were left to expire as stated in today's agenda, and as of 7/20/2023 remain expired. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance within the next 42 days or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Also on page 1, Senior Inspector Jose Sadagusti, property address 610 Northeast 14th Place, case number BE 23030079, owner Jakisha Wright. Notice posted at the property 6/28/23, posted at City Hall 7/6/23.
Jose Saragusti, Building Inspector for the city, presenting the case number as read. This case was opened on March 6, 2023. I received this case from Chief George Oliva regarding the possible work without permit. I inspect the property and met with the property owner, Ms. Shakisha. I found an addition in front of and on the back of the property, and new windows and doors in the whole house. The property was cited for Florida Building Code 2020, Section 105.1, for work without permit. Inspection report was mailed to the property owner on March 10, 2023. Notice of hearing was posted in the property on May 31st, 2023. Building permits are in process. The city is requesting 63 days extension to comply or $50 per day thereafter.
Okay, so ordered.
Thank you.
Moving on to page 2, Inspector Linda Holloway, property address 651 Northeast 19th Ave, owner Vincent F. Jr. and Teresa Pyle, case number BE 2208-0121, notice posted at the property 7/123, posted at City Hall 7/6/23. Excuse me, Inspector Martinez, can you take the conversation further over there, please? Thank you. Thank you, Linda.
Good morning again. Inspector Linda Holloway on behalf of the city, presenting case BE 2208-0121, property address 615 Northeast 19th Avenue. Permit PM-19022161 was left to expire as stated on today's agenda. A 30-day notice of expired permit was mailed to the property owner on May 4th, 2023. I've recently been in contact with the property owner who states she's currently out of town. The city is requesting 42 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Thank you.
Property address 1931 Riverside Drive, owner Mark Pilgrim, case number BE 2208-0124, notice posted at the property 7/123, posted at City Hall 7/6/23.
Good morning again. Inspector Linda Holloway on behalf of the city, presenting case BE 2208-124, property address 1931 Riverside Drive, permit PM-18071977 was left to expire as stated on today's agenda. I've spoken with the property owner, Mark Ingram, who went immediately upon receiving my notice to the building department to get the permit renewed. It is actually ready for pickup as of yesterday. He will be picking that up. In the interim, the city is requesting 42 days to comply or $50 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Thank you.
Moving on to page 3, Senior Inspector Alexander Juarez, property address 329 Southwest 2nd Street, case number BE 2302-0046, owner Martin L. Gischoltz, sorry. Notice delivered via personal service on 7/123, posted at City Hall 7/6/23.
Alexander Alvarez, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case number and address is read. The property was cited for violation of City Ordinance 47-19.9.A.5.8 for outdoor dining area created without obtaining the required permits. Case was opened February 6, 2023. Inspection report mailed to the property owner on February 28, 2023. Final notice April 3rd, 2023. The owner has applied for permit. Record shows permit application BLD-OD-2301-0001 for outdoor dining. Status is currently awaiting client reply as of June 29, 2023. City is requesting for the magistrate to find the violation exists and grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
So ordered as requested.
Our next case, property address 518 Northwest 17th Ave, owner Glenn A. Campbell, case number BE 22110022, notice posted at the property 6/29/23, posted at City Hall 7/6/23.
Alexander Alvarez, Building Inspector for the city, on behalf of Inspector Corley, who no longer works at this division, presenting case number and address as read. According to case record, Inspector Corley initially visited the property on November 3rd, 2022. The property was cited for violation of Florida Building Code, Section 105.1, work without permit, including but not limited to new pavers installed. Case was opened November 3rd, 2022. Inspection report mailed to the property owner November 3rd, 2022, with 30 days to come into compliance. Final notice mailed on December 14, 2022. Record showed no permit application. City is requesting for the magistrate to find the violation exists and grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter. City is also requesting for final order to be recorded.
So ordered as requested.
Our next case is on page 4, property address 1616 Northeast 16th Ave, case number BE 22110086. Owner, Coto Perry Realty LLC. Notice posted at the property 6/30/23, posted at City Hall 7/6/23.
Alexander Alvarez, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case number and address as read. Property was cited for violation of Florida Building Code, Section 105.1, work without permit, single-family residence, illegal alteration resulting in 2 dwelling units. The case was opened on November 21st, 2022. Inspection report mailed to the property owner December 12th, 2022. Final notice January 18, 2023. The city is requesting for the magistrate to find that violation exists and grant property owners 63 days to come into compliance or a $50 per day thereafter. City is also requesting final order to be recorded.
Approving the request, that's the order.
Moving on to page 7, Inspector Jeff Franklin, property address 329 Southwest 23rd Street, case number BE 23020047, owner Brett Egan. Notice posted at the property 6/19/23, posted at City Hall 7/6/23.
Inspector Franklin, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. The permit was left to expire as stated in today's agenda. The property was cited under FBC 2020, Section 105.3.2.1. We're asking the owner to come into compliance within the next 42 days or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
Okay, so ordered.
Property address 616 Northwest 10 Terrace, owner Yoko Holding Inc. I don't know why I get LLC. Case number BE 22080065. Notice posted at the property 6/24/23, posted at City Hall 7/6/23.
Inspector Franklin, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. The permit was left to expire as stated in today's agenda. The property was cited under FBC 2020, Section 105.3.2.1. We're asking the owner to come into compliance within the next 42 days or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
At the bottom of page 7, property address 704 Southwest 24th Ave, case number BE 22080258, owner Oshomi Pinder. Notice posted at the property on 6/26/23, posted at City Hall 7/6/23.
Inspector Franklin, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. The permit was left to expire as stated in today's agenda. The property was cited under FBC 2020, Section 105.3.2.1. We're asking the owner to come into compliance within the next 42 days or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Moving on to page 9, at the bottom, property address 2204 Northwest 9th Court, case number BE 22080238. Owner Corrine Askew. Notice posted at the property on 6/26/23, posted at City Hall 7/6/23.
Inspector Franklin, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. The permit was left to expire as stated in today's agenda. The property was cited under FBC 2020, Section 105.3.2.1. We're asking the owner to come into compliance within the next 42 days or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Moving on to page 10, property address 2554 Tortugas Lane, case number BE 21090014. Owner Ryan M. Pierce. Notice posted at the property on 6/26/23, posted at City Hall 7/6/23.
Inspector Franklin, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. I went to the property and observed a new dock and boat lift. I then checked the permit records to find no related permits on file. The property was cited under 91D. Any violation of the Florida Building Code shall be a violation of this section and punishable as provided for in this section. There's construction work at this property that was started or completed without obtaining the required permits consisting of new dock and boat lift. The property was cited on 3/6/2023. The notice of hearing was posted 7/3/23. We are asking to find the violation does exist and to grant the property owner to come into compliance within the next 63 days or a fine of $50 per day thereafter. We also request for the order to be recorded.
So ordered as requested?
Okay, moving on to page 11, property address 1344 Northwest First Ave, 1-3, owner Verdat Property Management LLC, case number BE 22070180. This case was first heard on 10/2022 to comply by 12/15/22. Fine suspended as noted, one section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $6,300, which continues to accrue.
Oh, okay. Nobody's going to speak on this?
Did you want to say something on it?
Is anybody from the city, though?
No. The inspector is going because one moment. At this time, we always just
Let him go.
read the cases in.
Okay. Your name? Well, give us your name and address.
For a single family to be a triplex. It was denied in zoning, and we were hoping if we can just ask for some sort of extension, possibly a 90-day extension to apply for it to convert back to a single-family home. And if the rear property, if the rear unit can be turned into a garage, if we can do that.
I can't answer most of those things. Are you proposing to turn it back to a single family?
Yes, because we were denied through zoning for a triplex.
So
We
you
were
know
told
you're not-
that
so
zone.
you're not going to try to keep the 3 units?
No,
You're gonna
no.
go back to one single
Yes.
family?
Yeah, and then convert the rear place to a garage or storage. If
That I
okay.
can't control at all today. What are we doing?
Well, since the inspector is not here,
Can we have someone, can one of the senior inspectors stand in his
we'll bring
stead?
Chief Oliva up.
Yes. And so we can at least get the city's position on his request.
Yeah, you're the general contractor, right?
Correct.
But he doesn't have a POA. That's why he wasn't allowed to sign it.
George Oliva, Chief Building Inspector for the City of Fort Lauderdale. To answer the gentleman's question, they have a house that was a single family and became a fourplex. In order for them to comply the case, they had to return the property to the way it was approved originally by the City of Fort Lauderdale. So, according to the Florida Building Code, any work that is done without permit can be removed without permit, to answer your question. But regarding the rear addition to turn back to a garage, a carport, if it's not in the original set of drawings that we have in microfilm that were approved by the city and sealed, you cannot have it. The only thing you can do is put everything back the way it shows in the approval layout floor plan that we have in microfilm. So my best advice, go to the city, get a copy of that plan, go back to the house and put everything back the way the plans are showing, and you should be okay. You won't require a permit to remove a violation.
Okay.
Okay?
Is it possible we can get an extension? We were gonna get.
That I cannot recommend anytime, Your Honor.
You don't recommend that?
No. My inspector already did the case, he did everything. They never got in touch with my inspector, so this moment, no, I won't support an extension.
Okay, so if you heard me speak earlier about fines will continue to run until it's in compliance, and then the owner can come back and seek a lien reduction. The fine will become a lien against the home, and then they can seek to reduce the fine by another process. It's an application and a process to explain what happened. And either myself or the other magistrate may do that, depending on the facts.
Because all it is,
Okay,
saying he
so
needs to get a
I can't give
CO.
you any assurance about using that other building.
That's what the violation is. He needs a CO.
Okay?
Because we were gonna apply and, gather the paperwork all over again. We have to now revise everything from the
Well,
from the
can you seek a permit for
triplex
the
plans.
back building?
Well, the violation is that you need to get a CO. Is that what you're planning to do?
Oh, yeah, we were trying to just verify if it's okay for us to apply for doing the paperwork for making it a garage, and if we won't run into any obstacles, because
Right.
we were gonna possibly get penalized by maybe November, December.
Sir, are you the original contractor that did the work, or you are a new contractor?
No, we applied, we sent in applications in April, and we took the job in December.
Last December.
Yeah, so we were just
So
trying to.
we're in July now, 7 months.
We got denied by zoning, saying that the zone
Of
is
course.
not a tree, is not for a triplex.
That
So
zone
we
is
were
not
wondering
for a
if we can
fourplex.
have, so we were asking for the extension to get our paperwork and plans ready to reapply to convert it back to a single family.
Your Honor, I cannot agree.
You don't recommend?
They have plenty of time to
Okay.
correct,
There
get
was
with
plenty of
my
time to do it
inspector.
before. I'm gonna let the fine run.
We recently got the, the zoning.
I do
denied by zoning.
understand, but there has been a time frame that went by with no actions. Do you ever contact Alejandro Del Rio, my inspector?
I haven't spoken to him recently.
There you go. That's what we're here. If you had talked to him, he will give you an extension before bring the case back. You never talked to him, he brought the case back. I cannot go by a decision that my inspector did, and I'm gonna retrofit that decision. He made a decision, you need to talk to the inspector. If the inspector talk to you, he will probably work with you, but if you don't talk to him, nothing's gonna happen.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Our next case, so it was imposed, right?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
fine continues.
Okay.
Impose the fine.
Moving on to page 12, property address 321 San Marco Drive, owner Sandy Flitterman, Aaron Levy, and Arthur Weissman, case number BE 2209-0116. This case was first heard on 2/16/23 to comply by 4/13/23. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $4,850, which continues to accrue.
Order the fine imposed.
Okay. Property address 1035 Northwest First Ave, owner Slam Technical Services LLC, case number BE 2209-0136. This case was first heard on 3/16/23 to comply by 4/27/23. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $4,150, which continues to accrue.
Impose the fine.
Moving on to page, oh, yes. On page 14, we would like to recall the case 1130 Southwest 30th Ave, case number BE 2208-0208, owner Elian Alexis. This case was first heard on 3/16/23 to comply by 4/20/23. One section not complied at $50. The city is requesting to abate all fines.
So ordered.
Thank you.
You didn't get to sit down, right? We're fast, man. We don't kid around here.
Moving on to page 15,
I didn't even get to sit.
property address 1526 Northwest 11th Court, case number BE 211-20010, owner Chris Olson Guillaume and Christine Guillaume. This case was first heard on 4/14/22 to comply by 6/16/22. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $10,450, which continues to accrue.
So ordered.
Property address 1616 Northeast 16th Ave, owner Coda Perry Realty LLC, case number BE 2208-0015. This case was first heard on 1/19/23 to comply by 2/16/23. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $7,650, which continues to accrue.
So ordered.
Page 16, property address 235 East Sunrise Boulevard, owner Jetta South in care of Midas Realty Corp. and Marvin Poor. Case number BE 2007083. This case was first heard on 4/15/21 to comply by 5/27/21. One section not complied at $100. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $42,000, which continues to accrue.
So ordered.
Property address 408 Southwest 7th Ave, owner Riverwalk ALF LLC, case number BE 210703441. This case was first heard on 1/20/22 to comply by 3/3/22. One section complied, at $100, total cost $31,800. The city is requesting to reduce fines to administrative costs of $1,275.
So ordered.
Moving on to page 17, property address 421 Southeast 21st Street, 1-5, owner Broward House, Inc., case number BE 210703363. This case was first heard on 12/16/21 to comply by 6/14/22. One section complied at $100. Total fine $16,200. The city is requested to vacate the order from 5/18/23 and reimpose fines to administrative costs of $1,275.
So ordered.
Property address 475 Southeast 30th Street, owner Local Equity 3 LLC, case number BE 211-00100. This case was first heard on 2/17/22 to comply by 8/16/22. One section not complied at $100. Total fines $33,700. The city is requesting a 28-day extension and a reappearance for 8/17/23.
Do the fines continue or suspend?
Suspend during the suspension.
So ordered.
Yes. Property address 814 Southwest 2nd Court, 1-4, owner Home 814 LLC, case number BE 211-00217. This case was first heard on 3/17/22 to comply by 4/28/22. One section not complied at $100. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $44,700, which continues to accrue.
So ordered.
Page 18 at the top, property address 824 Northeast 20th Ave, owner HG Middle River Investments LLC, case number BE 210700301. This case was first heard on 11/18/21 to comply by 12/30/21. One section complied at $100. City is requesting total fines $32,800. The city is requesting to vacate the previous order from 5/18/23 and reimpose fines to administrative costs of $1,275.
Probably so ordered.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Page 19 at the top, property address 1123 Northeast 7th Ave, owner Ramco of Fort Lauderdale LC, case number BE 210900096. This case was first heard on 1/20/22 to comply by 7/19/22. One section complied at $100. Total fines $23,800. City is requesting to reduce fines to administrative costs of $1,275.
I don't want to do that. No, never
No,
mind.
that- okay.
I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. It's all right.
Property address 1492 East Las Olas Boulevard, owner Samp Enterprises, Inc., case number BE 211-00230. This case was first heard on 3/17/22 to comply by 4/28/22. One section not complied at $100. City is requesting to impose fines of $44,700, which continues to accrue.
So ordered.
Property address 2300 Northwest 6th Street, owner SCAP, or maybe SKAB LLC, case number BE 210900177. This case was first heard on 6/16/22 to comply by 7/28/22. Fine suspended as noted. One section not complied at $100. Total fine the city is requesting to impose fines of $16,200, which continues to accrue.
So ordered.
Page 20 in the middle, property address 2957 West State Road 84, owner Westport LLC, case number BE 210900237. This case was first heard on 2/17/22 to comply by 8/16/22. One section complied at $100. City is requesting to reduce fines to administrative costs of $1,275.
So ordered.
Did we hear this one? On page 23, 802 Southwest 29th Street? We did? Okay. At this time, Your Honor, we would like to have all the cases that are listed on page 24 into the record as closed.
Okay. Approved.
Thank you. This concludes our July 20th, 2023 special magistrate hearing for the Building Division. Thank you.
All right, folks. Adjourned. Tomorrow, let me think, I'm trying to think tomorrow, I gotta go.